The August 7th deadline for the next stimulus bill passed, but that doesn't mean talks are over yet. Sarah Tew, CNETThe The deadline has come and gone without a deal between Democrats and Republicans on another stimulus package to help Americans weather the financial fallout of the coronavirus pandemic, and outbreak experts warn will only worsen in the U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell had set an August 7th deadline for relief legislation to pass, before the Senate's planned month-long recess. That recess is now postponed. What now? Have the talks collapsed? Is there still hope for an agreement? Will President Donald Trump issue his own executive order and bypass a new bipartisan stimulus bill entirely? Here's what we know. What's holding up the stimulus deal? The Senate, House of Representatives and White House all agree a second stimulus check that will send payments directly to Americans is essential to help turn the current recession around. Keep track of the coronavirus pandemic. The problem is that Republicans and Democrats can't agree on how much help is needed. Their disagreements mostly center on issues including enhanced unemployment benefits, extending a moratorium on evictions and the amount of relief aid offered to states and local governments as part of the Republican-authored HEALS Act. There are a lot of areas of compromise, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said Friday after another round of talks on the bill. If we can reach an agreement on state and local and unemployment, we will reach an overall deal. And if we can't, we can't. All this factors into the cost of the overall stimulus package. The Senate's HEALS Act would cost $1 trillion, while the House Democrats stipulated $3 trillion total in its HEROES Act proposal from May. The CARES Act, which delivered $1,200 stimulus checks to Americans earlier this year, was worth $2.2 trillion. I offered to them, "We'll take down $1 trillion if you add $1 trillion in," House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said late Friday. They said, "Absolutely not." Evictions, unemployment and long-term financial stress could affect tens of millions of Americans if a deal doesn't pass. Josh Miller, CNETScenario 1. An agreement happens next week. The House and White House negotiators tackling the details of the stimulus proposal have signaled a willingness to continue talks, as long as both sides budge. The president would like us to make a deal, but unfortunately, we did not make any progress today, Mnuchin said Friday. To the extent that they are willing to make new proposals, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and I will be back anytime to listen to new proposals. If negotiations continue for the second straight weekend, or if talks pick up again on Monday, the legislation could presumably go to a vote in one chamber as soon as Tuesday or Wednesday. Both chambers must vote before the legislation lands on President Donald Trump's desk for his signature.